here for the next 20 minutes like I didn't say anything. Just
Well, if you want to practice on being a mime, then you're in the right space. Is that what go live and mime? Is that what it means? Oh, everybody! If you don't know this lady, you definitely want to follow her. She's just an amazing person, doing amazing stuff online with her audience and her tribe, showing up on a regular basis. And who am I talking about? I'm talking about the one and the only Molly Mahoney. And this lady is known as a prepared performer. She also has a podcast called Camera Confidence. And you can also check her out at molly.live/show. She is a absolutely, if you can't tell, a previous stage performer, theater performer who is just absolutely has fun with what she's doing, no matter what's going on. And then she's had some big things going on in her life, good and bad, the last time. And just absolutely being authentic and really delivering camera confidence. So we're honored to have Molly here on National Social Media Day. Molly, welcome.
hey, thanks so much. I'm so grateful that you put this together. And I have a question for you, which is on your little promo video, what did you use to make all the little face bubbles pop in on the side?
And it was a Canva.
It was a Canva template?
Canva. No, I just put Canva and I drag in the little fields, the little like frames, and then if you hit animate it, and you can change the animation. It's a new feature on Canva.com.
I love that. So I've used the animation stuff to make GIFs also, but man, I did not even think about the fact that that would have been in Canva. I am so stoked about that. I love it. It was so cute.
Hey, we're done. Call it evening. Let's get the hell out of here, right? Now, you have been using a great tool. It's relatively easy for people to use with be.live, and you've really done. That's where it was. And we have a funny story how we actually met. I actually used to follow you on the shows there, and then I'm flying out of Austin, go to San Diego to meet someone. And there's this lady that gets on with these tall ass star shoes and these freaking pantalones with like beads running down the side and little purple hair. I was like, oh, let's keep Austin weird. Okay, great. She's a performer. Fly to San Diego. She gets off the same plane. I go to the hotel. She's right behind me checking us. And like, oh, she's got to be a podcaster then. And sure enough, it's like old friends, we just have a great time.
I was just so mad he didn't say anything on the actual airplane. So where was I coming from in Austin? What was I doing there?
You spoke at some, it was a thing for, chat
mini chat. It was mini chat.
Mini chat, yes. And it was late at night. It was like the last flight out. So, and you looked tired. I looked tired. I was like,
and that's why. So usually I wouldn't travel in my bedazzled pantalones, but I had been speaking already. That was the unveiling of the pants. And then I went straight from the stage, spent the rest of the day at the conference, ended the day in the hotel bar, jumped on the flight with you that was such an awesome week. We may never experience a week like that again.
Exactly. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. Here's the thing. You have done not only a great job building a brand and just showing up consistent with what you're doing on be.live, but some of the things that you have done recently have just been downright hilarious, but also so freaking awesome and outside the box. That just kind of is mind-blowing. So I don't know where to begin. Maybe you've got a better idea what you want to spend your 30 minutes sharing on here.
You know what I was thinking? Because I know we've done videos together and, we've shared stuff in your community and all that. So I have like specific strategies that I can go on how to bring confidence to the camera and how to monetize your live videos. And like, we can talk about the map to millions and that kind of stuff. But I thought it would be more intriguing, perhaps. What did you say?
Entertaining.
Yeah, definitely entertaining. If we kind of unpacked some of the behind the scenes of some of the things that we have done. So I would love if we could jump into some of those things you're referring to, or if there's anything else that maybe, in the world of social media, there's some stuff that I can talk about how to following up with what Kim said, which is so great, like some ninja tricks on how we can use social media to really develop those one-on-one relationships, which you are so great at. But there's some things that you can do outside of the videos that really helps to further the effectiveness of your videos. So I thought I could go down one of those rabbit holes and get kind of techie in that, or we could also focus on how to have confidence on camera.
I love it. Let's go down that rabbit hole.
Okay.
All right. Take it away.
And I was thinking today since it is social media day, I did have some interesting feelings about social media today that I've never had before. And I
Ooh,
thought
what
this might
kind
be
of?
kind of interesting also. So I usually social media day is a day that I'm like, yeah, social media day. And obviously I still am so grateful for this, you know, the ability to have these tools and connect, but I'm honestly a little like,
Because that's all we've had as a connection over the last 90 days, right?
yeah. And it's like people, I mean, I just was on a call with a client who has this awesome, huge new, this column that she's going to be writing for a really big publication without saying anything about who she is and what she's doing. But she said, you know what? I'm going to make some people mad and I don't care. And I was like, I think that's where a lot of people are at right now, is they're just in a place where they're like, I'm not the filters are off, I think, in all sorts of ways.
Yeah, and I think you have to. It's because I think it's the normal frustrations. We all are trying to put on a good face. We're all trying to pivot to whatever we
Yes.
need to do and try to keep a positive, because it doesn't do any good. Shit should only flow uphill. Unfortunately, it mostly flows downhill, you know. And I know you get frustrated. I have gotten frustrated. There's been days I'm like, I don't want to even get on anything. I
Yeah.
just want to sit here and veg on Netflix in my pajamas for the third day straight.
Well, I feel like if we're feeling that way, you know, total honesty, which I thought also would be good for this video.
Yeah.
I rescheduled another client call this morning because I've just had so much stuff going on behind the scenes with all of the stuff that's going on in the world that this morning, I was just sad.
Yeah.
Like, and I knew, you know, I had a 2-hour coaching call that I was running for my Glam, Go Live, and Monetize, not Mime, my Glam members. And I knew that was going to be like, I could bring it. And they were all actually begging me to yell at them because apparently I was yelling at everyone today and they were all saying they loved it. And I was like, everybody was like, yell at me, Molly. So if you want me to yell at you, Scott, I'm ready to yell at people, I guess.
I'm totally fine with it, because that's what people, Scott, you're yelling at me. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Okay, I'm yelling at you. I'm just passionate about what I'm doing. It's just
Yeah,
vocal.
that's more of what it is. But I think it's important also for us to admit the fact, like I did a post a couple of days ago about how I'm not okay. I'm actually full stop not okay. And my point of this, that is in the middle of all this, I also had to announce a winner of a contest we were doing in our Facebook group. And I realized I went from sending this message to this client asking if we could move to tomorrow, just because I knew I wasn't going to bring my best self to her in this call. And so I asked, she said it was no problem. We moved to tomorrow. And then I'm on camera being like, okay, the winner of our Facebook, you know, it's weird that I can bring, that is like my natural energy, you know, so I can turn it on. But I think it's also important for us to admit the fact that maybe we're not okay right now. And that might actually, in the long run, serve us better as a business than if everything was all sunshine and lollipops. There's a balance. So, but yeah.
Well, but I think it's important. I think we all have to do that. You said balance. Not everybody's happy. We've all got drama going on in our lives, whether it's friends or family that are out of work or struggling or dealing with illness and sickness, or people, our family passing as well, in a variety of things. And we've got to really take the time to self-heal in a lot of cases.
Yeah, and to experience the stuff that we're going through without feeling like we need to put on this show all the time. So just a little caveat, those of you that know me know that most of my life in general is a show, but I think it's also important that we allow ourselves to experience what we're experiencing right now. And for a lot of us as social media people, a good friend of mine who owns a brick and mortar in Mystic, Connecticut, a couple months ago, she said, you know, Molly, it's weird because you're not actually getting the benefit of the downtime that a lot of people are getting right now. Mm-hmm. Because we went right into like, how can we solve this problem for the whole entire world?
Yep.
So it's just interesting the way that everybody's experiencing this so differently. So
yeah. Now you've done some great interviews, because you're basically now at home with a hubby working and a couple kids and no Disney cruise that you were planning to go on. So I don't want to throw salt in the wound, but you did such an amazing job, and it really, people were paying attention. You had some side things that happened from it. You got to share this story. It's such a great social media story. Okay.
So I decided, this is actually an awesome thing to talk about. So I decided our Disney cruise was canceled. Scott had been a really great proponent of the Disney cruise. I posted on Facebook, the Disney cruise was canceled. They offered us the chance to rebook with a 25% credit. And I was like, ugh, and this was early on. It was set for April, I think, is when my Disney cruise was. I can't even really remember.
Yeah.
April, I think. And so it was like, you know, are we going to do this? What are we going to do? That was already like a very engaging Facebook post, was to, you know, to share. And it's a real thing that happened. Should I take it was like a great yes or no Brussels sprouts type post, as I talk about. So should I do this? And it was all sorts of crazy, you know, comments on that. And then what I decided to do was, during the week that we had off of school, I decided that we were going to take ourselves on a pretend cruise. So I was like, you know, and I am super fortunate to have this amazing pool with, like, I mean, our backyard looks like we live in Costa Rica. So I was like, you know what? I am actually going to take full advantage of this sucker. I am going to live my life to its fullest right here in my own backyard. And I did a full pretend cruise, not only on social media, but in real life too. Like, we had the tiki glasses, which we love anyway, and the whole thing. And I posted several photos in my bathing suit, but like not inappropriate, just like me by the pool. Come around, I get this email from a company that's like, hey, we love what you're doing on social media, and we'd love to have you model our bathing suits. And I was like, okay, then this is a whole nother thing, because I said, first of all, like, yes, I used to be a dancer and used to think, you know, I had body issues then when I weighed like 2 pounds and was a toothpick. But like 2 moms in, whatever, like, I'm not really in the place where I'm thinking of actually posting pictures of myself in a bathing suit. So my first thought was like, what's wrong with these people? My second thought was like, wait a minute, what an awesome opportunity to be able to, like, you know, body positivity and all of this. So that ended up proving to be another great thing to talk about on Facebook, because it was like, should I do it? Yes or no? Another thing, sharing what's going on in my life, the real stuff that's going on in my life. And also, like with the pretend cruise, that was more for me than it was for social media. Really, it was like my own, I was just living my own stuff out loud. So I post about it. Everybody's like, yes, do it, do it, do it, do it. So I think they even followed up a couple of times because I didn't respond right away. Oh yeah, because I wrote them back and told them that their bathing suits, they were not the type of bathing suits that I wear, because they didn't have like a top, but there was no like tankini in there. Mm-hmm. You know, they were modest, but they weren't the type of bathing suits that I would wear. But I was like, you know what? Why am I not wearing a bathing suit like that? Whatever. So I wrote them back finally and said that, you know, I would love to. They sent me all the information, and they were out of bathing suits in my size. Oh. Are you serious? After all of this? But whatever. The whole thing ended up, you know, they were like, just click the thing and get put on the waiting list for the whatever.
You know, but you can put that now as another hashtag, bikini model. You know what I mean? Exactly. Or the bathing suit model there for you when the cruise does come around. But the thing, I think you said something. You did the pretend cruise not just for social media, but you did it for yourself. And I think a lot of us as entrepreneurs, we are so goal oriented, and I know you probably struggle with this like I do, is we sometimes hit big accomplishments, but then it's what's next. We don't take the time to unwind and really appreciate the little wins, the little victories, huh?
It's like my biggest struggle in life, 100%. It's, you know, even that, like, this past month has actually been, for a lot of our clients and for us, it's been killer, like sales and all of that kind of stuff, because we're helping so many people. And it's like, it's important to recognize where the true fulfillment and, you know, joy and excitement comes from. So yeah. So when it comes to like ninja stuff, I would love to show the map to millions. And then I'd love to dive in, and rather than going through like the whole, usually we talk about how to have the confidence to create juicy content to lead to more connections and conversions. But I'd love to just highlight a couple of really cool ninja things that people might not be aware of. Would that be cool?
That'd be perfect.
Okay.
That's perfect.
And then if you want more about how to have confidence, how to create content, we can do that later.
Okay. No problem.
So I'm going to be a crazy person and share my entire desktop, because I hear that's the best way to get people to pay attention to you. Okay. This is the first one I want to show you.
It's actually less things open than I expected.
Can I tell you why?
You probably closed them all before it came on.
Yeah. And I also had, recently I created one of those folders that are like desktop 2020. I think I have 4 of those folders.
But it's like 20. Yeah, there you go. Very nice.
On my desktop. Okay, so this is our map to millions, just for a little, background. So we have this system allowed us to create a video that hit a reach of 1 million organically. It's the same system that we use over and over again. We have lots of trainings out there for free on how to do this. This is the same system that we do with our clients. It's based around creating a pre-scheduled Facebook Live link which we do with be.live, like Scott so awesomely mentioned, then driving traffic to that link ahead of time. So it's not just trusting the algorithm, it's taking the algorithm into your own hands. We do a teaser video on your personal profile, actually, not page, I should change that, a personal profile that leads to the business page video. We send a messenger bot broadcast that's fully compliant. We also send an email. We do a post where people comment below the post. They get sent to the broadcast, tell our friends and power partners, maybe a Facebook story. All of the traffic that leads to this video every single week, we then drive to a messenger bot that replies to the comments on this video. When that video is commented on by people, the bot replies to them and says, hey, do you want our free gift? Drop us your email address. We'll give you the free gift. And then we build real relationships. That is the system. Now we can take that system one step further, which is super cool. And it is right here. Do you like how official this is?
Okay. Very nice. Yes.
Okay. So this is when you supercharge it. And so this Map to Millions is comprised of our APR, which is announce, pretend, repurpose. So it's announcing the video ahead of time. It's pretending that people are there live with a Mr. Rogers style conversation. So you don't say, hey, everybody in the neighborhood. You say, hey, neighbor, right? You speak to one singular person just like he did. And then you do all of this repurposing. So we chop the video up, put it on LinkedIn, YouTube. We drive traffic to our Facebook group. We create GIFs. We do blog posts, all of this stuff. And it's systematized. Like for us now, I have a few team members who help make this happen. But for our clients, we have one document that lists out the whole entire thing. And then we actually were just going over this today, that there's a delegation guide. So you want to set it up for yourself in a systematic way so that when you start building your team, you can piecemeal things off. But for right now, you can actually do it a little bit at a time. So,
but are you using Repurpose with Honey quite a bit there? Okay, good.
We love Repurpose. Yeah. So Repurpose is a huge part of our strategy. So the other tools we use Repurpose, we use also Hanny's other tool, Simple Social Press, which is amazing because it turns the Facebook Live automatically into a blog post, and it brings the comments from your live videos into that blog post.
Oh.
Do you want to see it in action? I can show it to you.
If I've not seen it, yeah. If you got it there, if you haven't got 20 million posts up.
I know. Let's see. Watch. So if I go here to my blog, what's really cool is all of the blog posts here where I'm wearing my fancy pants.
Well, there you go.
There's the fancy pants. I actually had this photo taken in San Diego. Okay, so on the blog, and we just set a new, it's brand new website, which is so fun. On the blog post, you can see we've got these notes here, right? Awesome. And if you scroll down, all of the comments from the Facebook Live are comments on the blog post.
Wow.
Dude, what is happening? Right? It's so
That's
good.
So cool. Yeah.
And then it's like moving a little slow right now, but it also generates, you can see that it's still loading, but it will bring the actual video embedded into the blog post. And it's all done by Simple Social Press. And then it puts these buttons and everything on it too. So pretty dope. Ding, 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 ding.
Mm-hmm. As you just broke Facebook.
I just broke Facebook. Look at this. It's awesome. Amazing. So in addition to that, that's just like one of the strategies that we use. What I would love to show you is another really cool ninja system that we have. Once people come into our Facebook group, we're driving so much traffic to our Facebook group and filling up our Facebook group because of this system. And there's a couple of tools that we use there as well.
That's great. Time? Yeah, we got time. Okay. And actually I think our final speaker is not going to make it because of something popped in there. So you're the final. You're the final.
Amazing. We're going to bring down the house.
There you go.
I love it. Okay. I closed some windows to pull up Facebook. Okay. So a couple of things to highlight. And like I said, I know if you're watching this video and you care about Social Media Day, you're obviously a little smarter than the average bear. So I'm going to give you some these are really more advanced. They're advanced, but they're also, oh my God, why does it keep doing that? It broke it again. Did you see that? Has that been happening for you? on Facebook where it's like just freezing or going unresponsive. It's been happening to me.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it actually has been happening quite a bit. Yeah. Last week.
And it doesn't matter like which computer I'm on. Like this one is a little older. I just like it better. But I've got a brand new desktop and it happens there too. It's so crazy. Okay. So once people are, I'm going to just go straight to the group. Once people are in our group, did you notice though what was happening on my regular Facebook feed? Did you see that? How it was like empty?
Oh, I actually did see a little bit of that. Yeah.
Do you know what that is? It is called the news feed eradicator. It removes your news feed from Facebook.
Oh, that tells you a lot about how much news feed's out there, right?
It's just gone.
Yep.
So this way you can stay focused. You don't get sucked into all the stuff, which I think becomes so difficult for a lot of us. Ron Reich taught me about this. It's a little extension and it is so good. I think this is it maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Newsfeed Eradicator. It's a Google Chrome extension. It will change your life. Okay. Inside the Facebook group, we do a couple of things. So we have a file that we drive traffic to. Every time I do a video, I send people to this show notes file. And this show notes file is what? A collection of my blog posts. So then it's driving traffic back to the blog also, but we're having them opt in with their email address to get into our group first, and then sending them straight to this file, which then gets them back to the blog. Super
I love
dope,
that.
right?
Yes.
Okay. Are you ready for the next step of awesome?
Yes.
So
hang on a second.
Amazing.
Take it away.
Okay. So have you ever been in a Facebook group or had your own Facebook group and felt like, man, there's people here that I want to talk to, follow up with, but I get overwhelmed and there's no way to have like a regular good old fashioned CRM inside of Facebook until now. So watch this shiitake mushroom. So let's say I wanted to do a post where I asked people to comment to enter to win something. Okay. I did this post yesterday. So I've got all these people who have commented. We pulled the drawing. It was a pretty quick little thing. If I want to follow up with them, there are two crazy, amazing ways that I can do this. The first one is if you hover over someone's name like this, and Facebook works for us, a little box will pop up and you can actually add them to a friends list. Are you using friends list?
No, I need to.
Okay. So friends lists, it's a thing inside Facebook where you can actually categorize your friends based on, and I have 5 different categories that I use, 5 or 6 different categories that I use. They are friends, like friends and family, power partners. So like Scott would be on my power partner list because we shout each other out, and Scott's going to be on my show coming up soon because I've had to reschedule on him twice because
life is happening.
Yeah. I mean, not little things like people dying have caused me to reschedule my stuff with Scott, but Scott's going to be coming on our show. He's a power partner, right? Also potential clients, current clients, and then I also have one for speaking decision makers. So I teach this a lot. So when I show you mine, it's going to look a little crazy, but when you click on this, I hover over where we're friends, and then I go down here and I can click add to another list. I'm not sure. April is a member of our coaching program. Look at that. I have her marked in Camera Confidence, which is one of our programs, right? I also have her marked as current client. I also, Elevate is my secret word for people that I'd like to be able to move up into a higher level program. It's a feel good thing, right? And you can see that when I speak at different events, I have those people segmented off by that as well. Super cool, right? Okay.
That is cool. Now, that's a group. So, and how many people are in that group right there?
About last time I checked, like 7,000 or something.
Okay, so that's the beautiful thing. It's more than your personal 5,000.
Yeah, and so it
people
becomes
in the group.
It gets a little crazy because I think we just hit. We're over 7,222. That's a cool number. So it gets to be it can be overwhelming because it's like, okay, now we've grown this, but now there's just these people sitting here that I'm not doing anything with. So once I hit 5,000, which I'm like at right now, I can no longer put them on a friends list. That presents a new problem, right? So watch what you can do. Scott, I know you don't know about this and you're going to freak out. Watch. Do you see this little guy up here?
Yes, the little yellow shield on the side.
Exactly. It is called the hero icon because it's a here to save the day. Watch what happens when I click on it. Okay. Magic is about to start to happen. All of these guys are going to get a little icon right next to their name. It is slowly going through the group and it is going to start adding this icon on its own. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now watch this. I don't know if I've actually added April in or not because I'm not sure. But if I click on it, it tells me she's not tracked in this group, but she is in my CRM. So I can link her to this. Oh, that's a different, link member to the group. Come on. So I can link her to the group inside my CRM, and then I can set a stage just like you would do in like HubSpot. You can set a sales pipeline stage of where she is. And then I could even assign it to a team member to come back and follow up with her.
Wow.
Super dope, right?
That is super dope. Yes.
And I can do it with everybody. So if you have something where you're doing this kind of stuff and you're not able to you're not taking the time to actually follow up with people individually, there's so many little cool tools like this when people ask to join the group. Like we've been using group funnels. We love Arnie, been using group funnels for a long time, but this it's brand new and it takes group funnels to the next level.
So you're basically on these things, you're having a team member go on there. And so the 49 people that commented on this, you're making sure that you want to take them to that next level because they are communicating. They're not just sitting there in a group. Like we're all part of so many different groups that we're not interacting in though. You're dealing with the people that are actually the action takers, your top 1%ers that really are doing stuff in the action takers.
Yeah. And then, otherwise we're trying to get this engagement on social media, but we're not moving them to the next step. So like in the messenger bot, we're always getting emails, making sure that we have some sort of opt-in where they can take the conversation off of Facebook. And this is another way, like, what if your group closes? What if your group disappears? What happens is you have there's a whole dashboard, a CRM dashboard that you can access from your phone, access from a website, and it brings all of their information into that CRM.
Wow.
And it's public information. It's not like it's hidden information because it's all public, so they have out in the open.
Right. Now, is it work for just the groups that you moderate, or can you do that with other groups?
You can do it in other groups, but you have to make sure. I always say before I teach stuff like this, you have to make sure that you're using it for good, not for evil, because karma is a jerk. So don't go into somebody else's group and all of a sudden spam everybody, because then you're going to get kicked out of that group. Right. You got to be using it from a place of giving and awesomeness, right? But it's really a better way to serve, because otherwise we have things where people request something or they comment a question and we miss it because it ends up getting to the point where there's almost too much engagement. I would never say that, but this way you can actually follow up with people. In addition to nurture emails and all of that, you can take it even one step further.
Can you email me those links, those couple plugins? Because there are a lot of groups that have been created, but they're just sitting there dormant because the people aren't doing anything with them.
Yeah.
We all seen that. You're like, oh, I'm in a podcasting group right now where the main guy that's been running it for 3 years got up to about 700 things, and he just stepped back.
Yeah.
And his co-admin hasn't posted anything in a month. And I'm like, why don't you just make me administrator on this? Because we'll post stuff on a regular basis.
Yeah, or even use something like SmarterQueue, which we love as well so much, because it just recycles your posts, and most people don't see your posts anyway. So the live videos keep it fresh and real and live, but having that backup of content that is being repurposed and scheduled to go out in between, so there's a balance between the fresh new stuff and the repurposed stuff. I am consistently blown away by even today. I was talking to I haven't told anybody this yet, but I was talking to my team about how I needed more Brene Brown in my life. I go to my Facebook page. SmarterQueue had taken one of my posts about Brene Brown and shared it on my business page. I was like, I'm so grateful that my own automated self can give me the tools that I need.
I need $1 million to show up in the bank account. I need the PPP to be approved. That's what you should be saying out there for writing things. Those are great. That's great stuff there. That's just mind blowing. But those are little nuggets, little secrets. Who do you listen to or follow to find all these cool little tips and tricks?
So like that group track CRM was actually created by one of our clients. And she was just like, I am tired of this being a problem. Her name's Jenna Dubois. We actually went to high school together, which is so cool. But Jenna Larson is her name now, but she was like, I need to solve this because it's a problem for me. Arnie, I think, does such great stuff with Facebook groups. Also, Adam Urbanski is my personal mentor and coach, and he's always finding little tiny little tweaks. You know, Owen Video and I are really good friends and stuff, like finding those video type things as well. Mackenzie Lieberman and Kelly Mirabella in the mini chat group, sharing things like that. And Fallon Zoe, I just have to say, do you know Fallon? Her brain works in a way that like normal people don't work. So she messaged me like, I don't know, this is not even 2 years ago. And she was like, oh my, she sent me this voice message. It's like, oh my gosh, I just figured something out. And I know there is no other human on earth that will appreciate the like nerdy amazingness as you will. Here's what it is. And this is actually another really awesome tip that my sister taught me about Instagram, but the two kind of connect. So, you know, when you ask when you reply to someone's story, what happens? Do you know?
It shows up in the inbox, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're on Instagram or you're on Facebook and it has that little thing on the bottom and you send like a heart or a reaction or a word, it goes to their inbox. So Fallon was like, what if I did this on a business page? She put a post out there that said, hey, if you want more information about this, give me the word show and I'll invite you, I'll give you the access to my show. It triggered the messenger bot.
Mic drop.
Done.
Walk off. Done.
So that was maybe 2 years ago. And that's the kind of thing though, that her brain like thinks of these little things like that, which I love so much. Just like really good. But then my sister also pointed out to me, which is such an awesome tip, because sometimes like our Instagram just hit 10K, which was a huge, awesome success. But I'm also like, how do I follow up with these people and make sure that they feel loved on? Like Shailene Johnson talks about it all the time, that she's in there talking to people and building real relationships. You, Scott, are so great at that, like so great at it, but it gets overwhelming sometimes. So here is what my genius sister came up with, which I'll show you right now. If I can get to the right place. I don't even know how to use things. Okay. So if you look at your notifications, so in my notifications on Instagram, it's like followers, likers, commenters, any of them that have the red circle around them, it means that they have a story. So like I can go through this and the first one that I see is Insta Fame Tribe. I don't know if maybe that's like an influencer or expert that I could support or whatever. The next person is Emily Crum, who is in charge of sponsorships at Social Media Marketing World and also a dear friend of mine. So those two things would fit into my categories that I'm looking to connect with, the potential clients and power partners. So I come on here, I click on their story because I know they have a story. And now all I have to do is reply to the story and it sends a message into the inbox. And it's super quick. Like with Emily, like, so I'm going to click on hers. She's like, happy social media day, peeps. Right. So I click on her story. Now I have to click on it again. All I have to do is click on that bottom thing and I can just send her a little laughing emoji. Super quick, like super focused, targeted, one-on-one connecting, in addition to all the automated stuff that we're doing. We've got Facebook ads, blah, blah, blah. But if I spent 5 minutes doing that on Instagram, it's going to pay back, tenfold.
Yeah. That's the old kind of Gary V sending a Twitter message on hashtags 10 years ago on Wine Library TV, connecting. It's that little bit. I mean, do you get a lot of pushback on mini chat and bot stuff? People get tired of that? Do they love it? Do they embrace it? What's your kind of, I know you love it. You're the only one I still have bats coming from. So I'm like, is this really Molly or no? No, it's not. It's okay. That's all right. But I mean, you have a tribe that loves it. And if you get your tribe and your Facebook groups to use it and understand it, it's a different story though, right?
Yeah. So you have to, I do think there's a learning curve for some communities, some audiences. We did have one little thing last week where I had a full, really mad hater, which is a funny story actually, but I think she just didn't understand what was happening. And she was asking a question, and it was when it asked her to drop her email address, she asked a question. And then the next message came up and was like, please drop your email address. But she didn't realize that she like wasn't reading. So some people aren't going to read. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, if you can create a messenger bot that has a personality, that provides value, and that is speaking one-on-one to somebody, it's going to be awesome. Mm-hmm. You have to always give them the chance to opt out. Like every message we send gets a message that says no more messages every time. And I'm not mad if people opt out. It's fine. One example of how this works is we actually built the bot that Jeff Walker is using now. So we've been consulting him on his Facebook stuff, which has been so fun and so cool. And there are people, because Jeff's bot's name is Wilfred, very like non-gender, you know, it's like some people call Wilfred a he, some call her a she, whatever, they. And some people have told us that they have saved Wilfred in their phone. The text messages that we send from Wilfred, they saved Wilfred as a contact. They'll write back and say like, so I don't know if you saw Jeff's big launch that he did on Facebook. They did a Facebook Live version of their whole thing. It was so cool. And so I was monitoring the Facebook bot stuff, and we got all these messages, and I was like, oh, what is this? And I went to go look at what the messages were, and it was like, thanks, Wilfred, you rock, Wilfred. Like people all replying and just being happy about how awesome the bot is. I was
that
like,
is a beautiful thing.
That works. Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. It was cool.
Molly, we could sit here and go all day and all night. I know you've got a couple little ones and some of the stuff too, and I'm kind of running here in the end.
On Steam.
Yeah. What is the best way, and going to Facebook and following you? What's the best way for people to connect with you?
So I actually, let's see if this works. I created something today, and I hope it's okay with you.
Yep.
So I put together this Map to Millions starter kit, which has a video content planner, a Map to Millions video walkthrough that takes you through the whole that whole little bubble thing that I shared, all of the tech tools that we love, plus other awesomeness. And I made a link for you. I realized I already had a link that I had made for you before, so I had to use a different word, which that link goes to something else. So I made it molly.live/Scotty. Can I call you Scotty?
Yeah. molly.live/Scotty. Scotty or IE?
I did Y. Is that okay?
That's totally fine.
How do you spell it?
There we go. Either way. Mom used to call me Scotty Dog. So it's little Scotty's there. So it's quite fine. So yeah, molly.live/SCOTTY. Why not? Check out the link, download it. I guarantee that what she's put together will look less confusing than that image that she shared, which can scare the heck out of some people. Like, oh my God, I got to do all those things. No. There's some tools that automate a lot of that stuff. Most of the yellow circles were automated through like Repurpose.io and our buddy Mahoney, and it's just a matter of figuring out.
And the yellow circles also, thank you for noticing the difference. The yellow circles are all optional things. So those are things that you can add on, like the GIFs and all that kind of stuff. We add on slowly, one at a time. The most important thing is that you show up and start providing value via live video, and there's some awesome stuff to help you to do that too.
Amen to that. Molly, thank you for being a part of National Social Media Day. Great to see you.
You're awesome.
Can't afford to high five. One of the things that I think we struggle with is we're not able to high five or just hug people. No. Don't get me wrong. I love hugging Steph. Steph loves hugging me. And I think our cats are getting a little tired of us trying to hug and squeeze them a little more. So, but
I know Charlie's like, Mom, enough cuddles. Okay.
Yeah. It's all right. It's all right there. But hey, be safe. Take care of yourself and your family out there. And we'll see you someplace soon. All right, darling?
Awesome. Thank you. Good to see everybody. Bye.
Bye.